I'll be honest, I did not expect a Sasha episode this early. Okay. This is how's everyone doing today, guys? My name is Steve Coens, and this is Amphibia episode 24B, Toadcatcher. Yeah. Again, this episode solely focuses on Sasha, Sasha and Grime and Percy, and so the two. So since the events of Toadcatcher, again, this is another episode where I feel like I missed something because they didn't fully explain this. So obviously, after Toadcatcher got destroyed, the Toads went on the run, and this is where and so now they're hiding up in the mountains, in this mountain area. They have they're staying in this mill, and Sasha is training, and she really is, she obviously the loss to Anne has gotten to her, in terms of Anne standing up to her and her losing the fight, and then just they even have the echo of her saying, like, maybe you're better off without me. Like, she really feels the loss of her friend, and in turn she herself feels like she's failed as being a friend and being who she could be. And I guess now she's just letting this world be her influence now. So maybe she hasn't fully, and I wonder if she wants to leave home or leave Amphibia. Because that's kind of the thing. Like, they don't flat out say whether or not she wants to go home. At the end of the episode, she says, like, she's made her path now. But she doesn't fully say whether or not she wants to go home. And this is an interesting episode because while Sasha is training and wanting to, I'm gonna say probably she is looking forward to the rematch that she's gonna have with Anne. I mean, from the intro, you can definitely tell that they're gonna fight again, and so by the looks of it, Sasha, unless Anne starts getting some training in, Sasha might actually beat her this time around. But while Sasha is training, Captain Grime, Captain Grime is just a deadbeat now. He says, he's like, I lost it. He's like, I lost the tower. And Sasha even, but this is the part where I'm like, do we miss an episode? Because Sasha is like, okay, yeah, so you were banned and traitor, and now you're being hunted. What's the point? And I'm like, wait, what? When did we have that episode? Like, I don't know, it's a nitpick. It's a nitpick. I mean, because you think of, like, I'm getting some Avatar: The Last Airbender vibes out of these two, because because it's the saga. It's not full on Zuko Iroh, but you can definitely see, like, some similarities. Grime with the beard, especially. I'm like, kind of looks like Uncle Iroh for, like, here and there. And then Sasha, obviously, she knows what her path. She at first doesn't know what her path is, but then eventually she does decide her path. And she definitely, she isn't as crazy as Zuko. She was the most popular girl at her school, whereas Zuko was kind of socially awkward with things, like, hello, Zuko here. But, Grime is, like I said, because Grime lost the tower and is now a traitor, he basically just gave up. He's sitting on the couch, he's sitting in a chair, he's drinking, you can argue, alcoholic stuff, and he's watching Suspicion Island. Oh, I love that. It was really good. And Sasha is trying to get him off the couch and get back into the training, but Grime, like I said, is just really out of it, and it seems like nothing's gonna snap him out of it until the the most egotistical, annoying freaking bounty hunter shows up. Oh my god, this. I mean, if you've seen this episode, you know exactly why this bounty hunter is annoying. I mean, don't get me wrong, she is a really good bounty. She's a pretty solid bounty hunter, but it's just the fact that every single time she enters an area and it's like she pretty much has to fully describe her, give her resume basically. She's like youngest general ever to be named. Oh, I am this. I'm like, for freaking heck, I don't care. Like, first time you say it, okay, get it, but then the second time, third time, fourth time, they even make a joke at the end where like Sasha is cornered by this thing, but Grime is sneaking up from behind, and so Sasha distracts her by saying, "I forget what are you again? What's your name again?" It's like she's like, "I am General Ewan." I'm like, oh, for freaking heck. I don't know. That was a little iffy for me, but it was interesting. But so obviously the bounty hunter is in town looking for Grime. And so she will literally do anything. And so she figures out rather quickly where they are, mainly thanks to Grimes. Toad, henchman, not exactly good at keeping straight faces or telling a lie. Like, they're like, I mean, when they were being interrogated by this bounty hunter, they were literally sweating like crazy, and they're like, "Do you know anyone named Grime?" And they're like, "No, don't know anyone named Grime at all." And then the bounty hunter leaves, and they're like, "Oh, thank goodness." Thank goodness we didn't reveal the location of the mill, and it's just like, come the frick on. But yeah, it's interesting because with this bounty hunter on obviously chasing him now. Well, it's a pretty straightforward chase because the bounty at first Sasha is ready to fight, but then the bounty hunter reveals like she's got like some she's got predator claws, you know, like those things, and she just like literally slices up trees like they're nothing. And so Sasha and Grime, they go on the run, and while they're running, Grime Sasha's like, you gotta fight. If you actually were training, you wouldn't be falling behind. And Grime's like, okay, hang on, I might have problems at 30. It's like, that's pretty much when yeah, that's pretty much how Sasha and Grime, you know, like Grime, like I said before, Sasha letting the loss to end really get to her, you know, is like Grime's like, you're not training because you lost the battle, you're not training because you lost the tower, it's like, you're going through all this because you lost your friend, and so, you know, all that. So Sasha right now says she only has one friend, and that's Grime, and I can definitely see why she cares for him, but at the same time, it's a little bit interesting to see the two working off each other because this is getting really interesting with the world because because this is interesting because the toads here. Okay, so my original thought on how this world worked were the toads were in charge and the frogs were kind of like the underclass, and so that was my original theory. But considering that this bounty hunter is a newt, like, I'm wondering if newts are in charge, toads are kind of like their army or army slash like middle, and then frogs are like the low class. Like, is that how this one works? Because this newt that comes in, you know, she is very, you know, she's very intense. She's very intense. She's very terrifying. I mean, Grime's terrifying, don't get me wrong, but like, when you look at the size differences, it's like the newt is bigger than Grime. I mean, she isn't as bulky or strong as Grime in my opinion, but Grime definitely in height is very small compared to her. So if I had to guess, the Newts are in charge, and the Toads are kind of like their, soldiers, and then the frogs are kind of below, and then we have like the Bittiesburg people, but it would make sense then, because if there is in fact a rebellion going on with Amphibia, in Wartwood, with the tower now being destroyed, that area of land they haven't sent much since then. So I'm assuming that then Newtopia, or at least some sort of group, hasn't gone to reclaim that land. I mean, well, actually, no, they do straight up say that he's been branded a traitor. So Newtopia obviously is having some interesting ideas with Amphibia, apparently. So but after Sasha and Grime, they outsmart this bounty hunter. They obviously they have their moment of like Sasha's like, I'm Sasha, she captain of the cheerleading squad, most popular girl on the, or yeah, most popular record holder of this video game, and lieutenant of Captain Grime. And then Captain Grime's like, I'm Captain Grime, a drinker of whatever, binge watcher of Suspicion Island. And then the bounty hunter who's going down the river after falling off a waterfall, she's like, okay, that doesn't sound intimidating at all, or something. But yeah, so after defeating the bounty hunter, Grime and Sasha, they talk, and Grime is like, he's back in it. He's like back. He's like, but he doesn't know. He no longer wants to quote unquote serve the kingdom, and so they want to retake the valley, or in this case also world domination. So it's like Sasha and Grime are doing their own rebellion, and this is kind of where I'm thinking more of the this is kind of if Zuko and Iroh, instead of deciding to, it's like if in the Avatar: The Last Airbender, in the second season, when Zuko and Iroh were hiding out in Ba Sing Se, and then instead of when Azula captured them, or at least tried to capture them, it's like if they escaped, then decided to go after Azula, then then they but not joining up with the Avatar. Like that's kind of this point, is where Sasha and Grime are like, they were, they lost everything, they were deemed traitors, they were hiding out, but then they were found, but instead of being captured, they were able to get away, and now they're planning to overthrow Newtopia, I'm guessing. So I mean, that's probably a logical place where Sasha and Grime are gonna go if they want to overthrow this kingdom. So they're technically heading towards Utopia. I mean, and the Gru are heading there as well. And even, yeah, like I said, Sasha's like looks off in the distance and says, "Look out!" And I've chosen my path. Let's it's like, let's see what happens. In terms of this episode, it was nice. It was a fun episode. I'm glad we didn't have to wait another 10 episodes to see what the heck happened with Sasha and Grime. I'm glad it's only 4. Well, I mean, I say 4, but really this is 8. whereas the last one was 20. Now we have this. So yeah, I'm glad we were able to cut to the chase. Like, okay, this is what's happening with them. So in terms of when we'll see him again, who knows? But right now, this is gonna get interesting. So hope you guys enjoyed, and see you in the next one.